Greetings, YouTube. So my wife and I got a chance to see the animated film Epic. Spoilers involved in here, okay? Though they're not all that spoilery because things pop up really soon. Basically, the fairies are real. And our protagonist, a young teenage girl, is brought into this world because she is present for the death of the fairy queen because of the evil fairies, the Boggans. Now, one of the problems I had with this from the beginning is that they had the Boggans, which represent decay, and the fairy queens and the fairies, the leaf warriors, representing growth. And they had them doing this. Growth and decay are at war with each other. No. Growth and decay are like this in the real world. You can't have growth without decay. You can't have decay without growth. It is a yin and yang situation. It is not some Judeo-Christian battle between good and evil. Now, I think they were kind of trying to go for the Seelie-Unseelie court thing, which is a moral conundrum. But it isn't in the world of plant growth and life and decay and death. They are intimately linked. You cannot have one without the other. So there is a big fail there. Other than that, it was a fun adventure. The animation was excellent. I loved their weapons and their armor were very well done. You wearing animal skins was awesome for the Boggans. The use of the hummingbirds and the crows and all the different varieties of sapient plants and animals and things were awesome. But I want to know, why did birds get the short end of the stick in this movie? You had intelligent insects, intelligent frogs, intelligent plants, intelligent slugs, intelligent snails. But the birds are just animals. What? The people that wrote this film don't like birds? Everybody else gets to be sapient, but not the birds? That seemed kind of unfair, if you ask me. It was fairly moving. You got to see a lot of action, and I kind of bought into some of the scenes. I thought they were really quite well done. A little emotional engagement on my part, even though it was a kids' movie. The heroes were a little too plastic. We should have had more depth than we did, and we didn't, I think. You needed to make it people be at risk, and I don't think they did that. I think that they showed too much. There was too much invulnerability involved. I didn't think there was enough skin in the game, if you'll pardon the term of phrase. The only death we really had in the film was the fairy queen, and then the main baddie, whose name escapes me at the moment. But even was he even a death? Because he gets absorbed into a tree, but is he dead? Or is he still in there, festering, waiting for the sequel? I'm not sure. And at the end, our main character, who had been a human, is returned to human size. She'd been shrunk down at one point and then returned to human size. Continues to have a connection to the fairy world through technology, which is awesome. But all these people live at a different speed. All those fairies live faster than us. So in a single year might be an entire lifespan. And she's kind of romantically linked to one of the characters among the fairies, but again, at the end of a year, he'll be an old man, if not gone. Is she just going to continue to emotionally link herself to a long string of people that she can't have a relationship with? Is this supposed to be some metaphor for our internet relationships? I'm not sure. And the father figure, and he's just horrible. His obsession drove away his wife and drove away his daughter. He didn't seem to have any contact with them at all. His ex-wife is dying of something, because you get the impression that her death was not fast, because she had time to prepare her daughter for returning to her father's, who essentially was so obsessed, didn't notice she was gone in many ways. He's just a horrible parent. terrible. What is it with fantasy animation films and terrible parenting? Can anybody name a good parenting model in one of these films? A really solid, healthy one? I would love to hear one. So it was fun. I believe it might. I don't think it had any extras on it that I want to watch it again for. But I mean, I might show it for kids, and I may want to, if I get bored someday, if I want something as background and for noise, I could see myself putting this back in there in the DVD player to watch it again, because it was pretty, and it was, the characters were engaging. I enjoyed some of the people in the characters in the film. So that was fun. You know, it was nice to see all the different designs, and again, I really liked the gear and the armor and weapons and things like that. They were well done. So yeah, it was fun, but it had a flawed premise from the beginning. Life and decay are not the opposites, folks. They are intermittently linked, inextricably linked. You can't have one without the other. And I think that we need to teach children that. I think teaching them that decay is bad and life is good, and thinking they're divorced from each other, is just going to be a very unhealthy worldview. An unhealthy worldview that is already plaguing us. We don't need to perpetuate it. So tell me, what did you think of Epic?